How on earth did we end up here? This is a crazy story, actually, of which in a couple minutes I will share with you. And by the end of it, almost just give you the starting point of how to get going. Now, of course, I'm wandering around. There's a pool in the background. This house is beautiful. I've got sunlight. I've got health. I've got an amazing family. And we are building and growing amazing things in our life. That's great. But it's vastly different to the majority of the time we've spent on this earth. And I tell you now, when we was in a place that had a kitchen no bigger than that table tennis table. We was in a place where we would be harassed and abused and knocked at the door. We wasn't in a good place. And due to certain life events, particularly with us, a spark and a catalyst happened where we essentially just started to take the final elements seriously. And I talk about these 5 elements. The 5 elements: mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, financial. And, I've been in this self-improvement space. I've always been looking to grow since I was as young as 3, quite honestly. Self-awareness does that to you. So as young as 3 years old, I'm focused on 4 of those elements at least. And I never really prioritized the finances until we lost our daughter, in fact. And I'm becoming much more focused on sharing the specifics of our story, because that's all we can really do. Like, how did me and Amy become from some of the most devastating things you can experience as a human being to 2 years later experiencing a dream life that most people dream of? And it wasn't random. It was specific focus, and I'm just going to tell you what it is. It doesn't mean it's going to just happen for you, but I tell you what it is. Stay focused, don't quit. And the whole point from our situation was we never really focused on the finances. We had always focused on all these other elements. We've managed to maintain a relationship for 14 years. We really developed the foundations of what a relationship requires. We structure our environment, stay organized. We was running businesses. We weren't really breaking through with the money that we needed to make until we really started to focus online. Hence, now over the last 2 years, pretty much every 90 days we move to a new location, and these locations get better, bigger, and quite frankly, more enjoyable. You start to enjoy these things more when you are not concerned about your door getting kicked in, or you're not concerned about having enough money to even cover your bills. It starts to become really real when you break through the financial barrier. And then when all 5 elements align with themselves, you begin to essentially experience the life that you always spoke about, because you followed up with action. Now, the laws of success are: stay focused, don't quit. Right? So if it's that easy, why is it that not everyone has what they want? And the biggest problem is, what do I focus on? And how do I prevent myself from quitting? And those two work in tandem. Often you quit because you're focused on the wrong things, or often you quit because you don't understand how long you need to focus for. Whatever the case is, there's very specific formats, formulas, principles. Everything that wisdom culture embodies lives and operates within our home. Hence, our home and our life, aligned with our purpose, has become a business. And it doesn't necessarily have to be unique to us. It's scalable. It's repeatable. There are ways to do this. But I may say something that's obvious here. I may say something that's not so obvious. You can't do anything without money. You can't get the freedom that you want without money. You might love what you do, but how can you really continue to pour your absolute best into what you do without the right amount of money supporting you? So money became a big thing for us. Hence why on this page, the specific focus is understanding where you're at and getting started. That sheet has been something that I've developed actually over the last year and a half. I developed that sheet specifically because I realized we was having the same conversation all the time. Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? And there was no awareness. And energy is truly your commodity. So a lot of energy was being squandered having this conversation around finances until I created that sheet and I started to realize we don't need to have that conversation anymore. What we can do instead is put it in one place and we'll know exactly what's coming in. We'll know exactly what's going out. We can look at it more transparently so we can understand maybe we don't need these expenses. Or we can be driven and motivated by the numbers and going, we ain't making nearly enough money. Whatever it is, you need to know where you're at. So I'm not selling anything right now. I do sell things. I'm not selling anything right now. The goal for me is to create the ultimate slipstream in my email list of value that doesn't just like provide theoretical, regurgitated template, and there's a lot of it out there. I'm going to lay out exactly what we're doing. I'm documenting our life. Otherwise, it goes against our principles. I have to be able to live, breathe, walk, talk, wake up, and fulfill my purpose and stay aligned with my 5 elements of self, mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, and financial. I need to be able to do that just by waking up and doing what my heart wants to do. And if I don't, it starts to feel a little bit depressing for me. I don't know about you, but it starts to feel super depressing for me if I'm not doing what I love. So the goal was to not have a business in your life, but turn your life into a business. And I've been working on that, quite honestly, like way longer than we've started making money with it. But I only flipped the switch within the last 2 or 3 years. So my message is simple. I'm not really asking for anything, because I am asking for one thing. I'm not really asking for anything else but your email address, because that's a direct way I don't have to concern myself, which has happened multiple times, many times. It's getting worse and worse. If you're in the know, you know. Censorship is destroying the relationship and access to information that more than ever as time continues people need. And the only way I can do that truly is through email. You know, of course I could text your number. I don't want your number. I don't even want your name. You'll notice on this page, I don't need your name. I don't need your number. I need a form of communication with you, a line of communication that I don't have to concern myself with being censored or filtered. And 2, it gives you the control to just fucking leave whenever you want, unsubscribe if it's not resonating with you. But what I'm going to do in those emails is drop the absolute blueprints and systems and formulas and stories that cover all 5 of those elements and show you exactly what we're doing that's enabling, because we are just warming up, but it's enabling us to travel around the world, move around every 90 days, and we're actually in the next 6 months about to relocate more permanently to a home in a location I'm not going to reveal here, but it's beautiful. It's very, very similar to this. And that's going to be our home. And just 2 or 3 years ago, we was cooped up in an apartment going through trauma. And we're going to lay out exactly what we're doing in order for us to receive that. How we earn money, how we stay healthy, how we systemize, how me and Amy have even been in a relationship for 14 years, right? This is aimed at young families. This is aimed at basically people like us. The message can be applied to anyone. Truly, it's universal. But the people that we're looking for is the people that are living similar to us. They have similar aspirations to us. They want to work online. They want to do what they love. They want to have an environment. They want healthy relationships. They want health that's followed by wealth. And this video can't break that down. Not even I'm that good. But the email lists are a start. That sheet is our gift to you as a start. Because if you do decide to continue, even if it's not with us, if you decide to continue to work with someone, and you do want to crack the code of figuring out how you can work remotely and earn way more than you would do in a stationary job, someone's going to ask you, well, where are you at now? And if you can't quantify it, which is what that sheet will do for you, it's like ordering food to your home without giving them the address. It's like, well, where do we start? Where will we go? There's just no parameter for it. It has to be quantified. For you to grow, you have to be able to measure. And that's a starting point. And I'm not bullshitting you. I mean that. I am not bullshitting you when I say we use that every day. That's our sheet. That's literally what I've been developing over the last 1.5 years. That sheet has saved, because it's important to understand the formulas, and I'll end with this. Time and energy are your commodities. Time and energy are focus. And where you place your focus determines your reality. So the laws of success are stay focused, don't quit. So you have to know what to focus on first. And then not quitting comes down to actually simple rules and formulas. One of them is accountability. And if you don't have accountability, if you're not held accountable, if you're not too good at holding yourself accountable, if you're honest, then you have to have other people that hold you accountable the same way I have. And everyone that I know that's ever continued to grow their wealth and living a life that they're working towards, they're all held accountable every single day. And that's the starting point that we're offering you for the emails and that gift of the sheet. And when you do start, you're welcome at any point to respond to any email directly with your screenshots, your proof, your questions, anything you want. We have a direct relationship with everyone. We are very open-hearted. We warmly welcome anyone that is willing to bring positive energy and an open mind. And that was a little coffee break whilst I'm in the office. It's my little office, look, doesn't look fancy. But if you can learn to make 6 figures through a device, it starts to become really fun. So I'll see you on the email list. Cheers.